Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz AM. Balita, impormasyon at musika. Ito ang DWDD AFP Radio. Boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Nitong nakaraang Sabado ay ipinagdiwang ng Armed Forces of the Philippines ang pagtatapos sa ika-44 na National Reservist Week. Ang naturang okasyon ay dinaluhan ni Department of National Defense Secretary Gilberto C. Teodoro Jr. bilang panauhing pandangal kasama sa AFP Chief of Staff Romeo S. Browner Jr. Nakasentro ang pagdiriwang sa pagkilala sa mga laang kawal ng bansa at sa kadakilaan ng kanilang voluntaryong paglilingkod sa bayan at mamamayan. Ilan sa mga highlights ng naturang National Reservist Week ay ang capability demonstration at ang pagkakaloob ng parangal sa mga natatanging reservist dahil sa kanilang accomplishment sa nakalipas na taon. Ang mga iyan ay itatampok ngayon sa palatuntunan. Magandang araw sa bayanang Pilipino. Sama-sama nating matutunghayan sa ating programa ang mga kaganapan sa isang espesyal na pagtitipon ng ating mga laang kawal sa culminating activity ng 44th National Reservist Week na inorganisa ng AFP Deputy Chief of Staff for Service and Retiree Affairs o J9. Ang National Reservist Week ay isang espesyal at napakahalagang araw para sa mga voluntaryong sundalo na kaagapay ng mga aktibong kawal sa iba't ibang pagkakataon kung saan ay nakikita ang kanilang camaraderie, nagkakaisang pagkilos at ang solid show of unity sa layuning mapaglingkuran ang mga mamamayang Pilipino. Mapapanood natin ngayon ang highlights ng isinagawang programang alay para sa mga laang kawal. Kabilang na ang kanilang pagpapakita ng kakayahan at mga kagamitang nakalaan para sa mga aktibidad na kanilang isinasagawa para sa ating mga kababayan. Kabilang dito ang para sa pagresponde nila sa mga kalamidad at sakuna. At makikilala rin natin ang mga reservists na nakatanggap ng parangal mula sa AFP na iniabot naman sa kanila ng butihing pinuno ng Department of National Defense at ng Sandatahang Lakas ng Pilipinas. Dahil ito ang edisyon ng palatuntunan kung saan ay tayo na ang sumaludo sa serbisyo ng laang kawal. Ako po si Major Senon C. Pancito III at kami ang inyong kawal. Bago ang formal na programa, nagtipon-tipon sa General Headquarters Canopy sa Camp General Emilio Aguinaldo ang mga reservist kung saan nila isinagawa ang kanilang panunumpa sa Watawan.
Sabay-sabay natin bigkasin ang panunumpa ng katapatan sa Watawan.
Nagkaroon din ng pagkakataon ang mga laang kawal, aktibong sundalo at ang iba pang mga panauhin upang masaksihan ang static display at gallery exhibit. Nagsimula naman ang formal na palatuntunan sa pagdating ng panauhing pandangal na si DND Secretary Gilberto Teodoro Jr. na sinundan ng isang panalangin.
Grant your divine assistance to all those who voluntarily offer themselves for service to the nation in partnership with the regular troops of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Continue to direct their minds and hearts to the right on in understanding the essence of the AFP Reserve Force and its trust of moving towards a resilient force posture for the sovereignty and integrity of our national territory.
Nagbigay rin ng mensahe ang pinuno ng tanggapan ng Reservist and Retiree Affairs o J9 na si Major General Joel Alejandro Naknak, Philippine Army.
In this generation, our reservists have always been a critical component of the total force of the armed forces of the Philippines for our national defense and other contributions that have been felt in times of calamities and disasters, in times of conflict and in times of peace. We owe them our deepest respect and gratitude.
In any incident command system, there is a
Samantala sa
medical
gitna ng
triage
palutuntunan
which
ay ipinamalas ng mga reservists sa panauhing pandangal ang iba't ibang simulation ng kanilang mga aktibidad kaugnay sa sakuna at
A
kalamitan.
medical triage team is composed of health allied personnels such as medical doctors, nurses, and emergency medical technicians. They are expected to have deep knowledge of advanced pre-hospital care. After the patient is endorsed to the medical triage area, a medical triage officer will re-triage the patient into 4 colors. A patient with a red tag needs immediate care and transport. For example, a critical patient with compromised airway, breathing, and/or circulation. A patient with a yellow tag means treatment of the patient could be delayed for up to 4 hours. For example, a patient may have extensive injuries but not ABC compromised. A patient with the green tag receives the lowest priority of care and will be given appropriate treatment on the scene. Meanwhile, a black tag is used for the deceased and for those whose injuries are so extensive that they will not be able to survive given the care that is available. Remember, when handling a mass casualty incident, you use triage to do the most good for the most people. With specialized skills to provide pre-hospital intervention on triage, the medical triage officer can release the patients for a medevac to the nearest medical facility for a more comprehensive treatment. Red tag patients who are considered as critical are prioritized to be transported. patients are transported after through an ambulance and are endorsed to a hospital based on the prioritization they have. In an MCI, the safety officer is always the first and last to exit the area. With pride and honor from the Naval Reserve Command, Naval Reserve Center, National Capital Region, under the strong leadership of Commander Peter P. Negrido, Philippine Navy Reserve. Composed of professionals from different fields, such as local disaster risk reduction management offices, doctors, nurses, teachers, lawyers, entrepreneurs, volunteers, and students, internationally trained by the United Nations International Search and Rescue Group in France. We are the 27th Naval Affiliated Reserve Group, ready to serve, ready to save, so that others may live. Rescue Recon!
Kasama rin ang pinuno ng Sandatahang Lakas na si General Romeo S. Browner Jr., Philippine Army, sa nagpahayag ng kanyang pasasalamat at pagkilala sa dedikasyon ng mga reservists.
To our reservists, I say this: your service is truly appreciated, commanding our deepest respect. Kami po sa Armed Forces Leadership ay nagpapasalamat sa inyong lahat. You are a pivotal pillar of our armed forces and of our nation. We salute your patriotism and your commitment to excellence.
Sa kanya namang mensahe, pinapurihan ni Secretary Teodoro Jr. ang mga nanguna sa pagsasagawa ng programa para sa mga laang kawal. Ipinahayag rin niya ang kanilang kasalukuyang hakbangin na maaaring magbunga ng mga pagbabago ayon sa kanilang nakikitang pangangailangan ng bansa.
We are in a period of rethinking what we are, where we should be, and what we are doing, based on a calibration of what we feel the country needs to firm up its credible deterrent posture and our ability to protect our interests, not only on the ground, but particularly in the maritime domain and the aerial domain.
Ang mga tinura ng mga namumunong opisyal para sa ating mga reservists ay higit na nagpatunay sa kahalagahan ng paglilingkod ng ating mga laang kawal, na lalong magpapatibay sa kanilang dedikasyon at desisyon na higit pang pagbutihin ang kanilang voluntaryong serbisyo para sa bayan. Ipinagmamalaki ng Armed Forces of the Philippines, lalo na ng Deputy Chief of Staff for Reservist and Retiree Affairs o J9, ang mga individual at grupo ng ating mga laang kawal na naghandog ng kanilang serbisyo sa mga Pilipino gamit ang kanilang kasanayan sa iba't ibang larangan. Kilalanin natin ang mga huwarang reservist na nagdala ng inspirasyon sa kanilang mga kasamahan at naging ihemplo ng tunay na paglilingkod. Ang pagiging AFP Reservist Officer of the Year ay hindi lamang nagpapakita ng kahusayan sa larangan ng paglilingkod militar ng laang kawal, kundi pati na rin sa kanilang kakayahan na maging ehemplo sa mga kasamahan. Kabilang sa mga pinarangalan bilang AFP Reservist of the Year, field grade at company grade level.
I am honored to be chosen out of the more than 30,000 reservists as the Officer Reservist of the Year. I have done this. I know that I will receive the award because it is always in my heart and in my mind to serve our country faithfully, to do whatever we can in order to contribute to the service of the people and the protection of our country.
Bali po, ang paglilingkod pa namin gagawin ay bukod sa naprograma na namin yung mga nakaplano namin yung mga programa, tutuloy namin. Kami po ngayon ay nagsisikap para ipa-improve pa lalo na yung mga training at saka magabayan namin yung mga tao namin po lalo sa territorial defense para magpagtanggol natin ang ating bayan.
Balak po natin na gawin pang mas marami at mas maganda yung ating mga ginagawang aktibidad para mas ma-motivate yung ating mga members ng ating unit at makapag-recruit pa tayo ng mga future reservists in our area. Now more than ever, mas kailangan natin yung spirit of patriotism and loyalty sa ating mga kababayan.
Actually, itong award na na-receive namin, ako particular, personal po, naging silbing lalong inspirasyon para mas pag-ibayuhin natin yung ating mga gawain, kung saan mas mapalakas pa itong ating mga miyembro ng Laang Kawal ng Pilipinas. Sa kakayanan po namin, gagawin po namin ang aming mga gawa sa abot po ng aming makakaya. At least, ang importante po dito yung recruitment. Actually, yan po talaga ang unang sinimulan natin na mag-recruit po tayo ng mga magiging miyembro ng Laang Kawal. Particular po sa amin pong mother unit, ang AFP Reserve Command. More sa technical person po kami. Ako po isang Doctor of Medicine. Tayo po ay uma-attend ng mga meetings, ng mga samahan, ng mga professional organizations para po sila ay mahikayat na maging miyembro ng Laang Kawal na kailangan natin sapagkat nitong nakaraang pandemic, napakadaming mga medical allied personnel ang kinailangan para po matugunan ang pangailangan ng ating kasundaluhan.
We feel motivated by the recognition given to us by the Armed Forces. At ito naman po magiging challenge na ito para sa amin because ngayon po, tinitingnan na kami ng mga contemporaries namin, ng mga kasamahan namin na if we are ahead above them. So, kailangan naming mag-strive more para po matugunan yung mga basic na mission ng isang reserve force, lalo na po ma'am sa humanitarian assistance, disaster response, at sa aming role po on civil military operations, assisting the tactical and maneuver units on the ground, ma'am. So paggigihan po natin uli yung mga natutunan or nakasanayan na natin gawin bilang isang Laang Kawal para po makatulong naman sa aming respective communities for the good of the Philippine Army and our forces as well, ma'am.
Grateful po because it means that as a reservist, we are being recognized for our selfless volunteerism.
First of all, put nationalism into heart. So, one way is to join the ROTC program. Personally, yun ho yung best experience ko nung college. It did not only instill discipline, nationalism, the love for country. Kasi kabataan minsan misguided or misinformed. So if you join the ROTC program, may ano na yan program of instruction na siya, which you can use to better yourself not only as a youth but as a citizen of this country.
After receiving the award, I became more humble. Leadership is a humble thing. You have rank has its privilege, but rank has its privilege to make your team win. Now, the plans and programs, what we're going to do in Frescom is that we're going to make sure that we advance what the reservist is. We're going to be inviting more of our citizens to become citizen soldiers and to become better citizens of the Philippines.
Nagkamit din ng parangal at ang AFP Ready Reserve Unit of the Year.
I am very grateful that I am given this award by the Armed Forces this time. So this challenges us me more, especially that I am a newly commissioned officer as a major. So there is no yung glorifying moments kung ikaw makakatulong sa tao na walang kapalit. So I have been in public service as DLG officer for 20 years. But hindi ko makumpara yung saya, yung self-fulfillment kung ikaw na nagbigay ng serbisyo na libre po.
I'm really blessed to be recognized as such with this distinct recognition as the AFP Reservist Enlisted Person of the Year. So my message naman po sa kabataan natin is that I am actually a graduate of the AUF ROTC 2007 and I am very keen and I am an advocate of ROTC dahil hindi lang ito, it makes the citizens and the youth useful, and we need useful citizens of the Republic, especially in times of calamity, sa mga first aid natin and whenever calamities arise.
By profession, I'm a school director and I have so much interaction with the students. So I'm one who really pushed the ROTC in our school because I see a lot of difference between the regular students and the graduates of ROTC, and it's really a big difference in terms of discipline, in terms of volunteerism. So I would like to call all the students and even the non-students, because I joined the reservists after I already became a master's in education.
Isa po ako sa assistant instructor ng JRFDC. Ako po isa po ako sa naguhubog ng mga reservists. So sa tagal ko na po sa nagte-train ng mga reservists, marami na po akong nakasalimuhang mga bagong laang kawal. Pero talagang sabi ko nga, ang pagiging sundalo, dapat dedicated po sila, mahal nila yung ating bayan. Dahil tayo po ay talagang sundalo po tayo ng bayan. No? Dapat natin ipagtanggol ang ating bayan.
Nagkamit din ng parangal ang AFP Ready Reserve Unit of the Year, Brigade or Wing and NAV 4 level, at ang AFP Ready Reserve Unit of the Year, Battalion and Group level.
I am the commander of 23rd Reserve Infantry Brigade stationed at Caraga Region, covering 5 provinces. I was the organizer of the 23rd way back 2012, and until now I am the first commander of the brigade. For the National Reservist Week celebration, this is my 4th time to receive this award, and before that I received as the AEP Reservist of the Year. To me, reservist is one of the resilient force of the active force. The theme of today's celebration is very nice and very achievable.
On behalf of the men and women of the 3rd Air Force Wing Reserve, I received this award. Maraming salamat po sa aming ARCOM Commander, si Major General Elpidio Talda. Salamat po sa aming CGPAF, si Lieutenant General Stephen Pareño. Ito pong award na ito ay dapat lalong magpatibay at magpaigting sa aming commitment na maging mas magagaling na magsiservisyo sa bayan. We also dedicate this award to the respective families of the men and women of the 3rd Air Force Wing Reserve. Umasa po kayo na magpapatuloy kami sa pagtulong sa ating hukbong sandatahan sa pagbimintina ng kapayapaan at pagtugon sa mga hamon ng tadhana sa ating society. Rest assured that this award will spur us to encourage others to become reservists. I call on the youth of today. This is the highest form of nationalism and patriotism. Kailangan kayo ng bayan.
He the commander of the Naval Forces Reserve, Eastern Mindanao. And before that, ako po'y nagpasalamat for the Armed Forces of the Philippines for giving us the awards as a fitting recognition for our accomplishment. At ako po'y nagpasalamat din sa aking mga kasamaan sa Reserve Force, the 71st Naval Group Reserve and the 72nd Naval Group Reserve for their collective effort of achieving our accomplishments. That's why binigyan po kami ng ganito. I would encourage sa inyo, I would encourage sa mga youth natin to join the Reserve Force because dito matutunan niyo po yung disiplina, how to manage your time, na iba sa yung purely civilian lang po kayo. Dito, discipline, time management, matutunan nyo dito plus yung patience.
Our main focus is medical missions for health and same thing as rescue and operation. This is not the first time we got the award as the best. We got this several times already. But our main goal is to continue serving the armed forces by giving good health care and provide support to all different units. And my advice is we have to encourage more doctors and professionals to join the Reserve Force, like the dentists, veterinary corps, doctors, because we are in dire need of their services. We have to defend our country also by helping our soldiery. So in the event they get sick or wounded, we have medics to assist them.
I'd like to ask each and everyone the question, which would you prefer, to be successful or to be significant? All of us can be very, very successful, but again, the question remains, are we significant? The only way to be significant in our society, this is one way, joining the Reserve Force. Joining the Reserve Force makes us feel very significant to the society because at the end of the day, once we have some medical missions, once we sleep, we feel very, very contented. So again, there is a very thin line between success and significance, and we choose to be significant.
Well, it's fulfilling kasi yung mga pinapangarap mong makatulong sa bayan in a different way, even in the Reserve Force, kahit hindi sa regular na paraan, ay nagagawa mo. And of course, it boosts our morale, especially ang ating mga tropa, ang ating mga tao gumagawa sa baba na wala namang bayad. Nabuboost ang kanilang morale kasi nare-recognize sila with their dedication, with their commitment, even without the compensation, ay ginagawa nila dahil mahal nila ang ating bansa.
As 603rd Commander, I would like to encourage my team, my troops to grow more, to do more for our country because this is the only one we've got.
Naghirang din ang Affiliated Reservist Unit of the Year sa kanilang walang kupas na pagbibigay serbisyo sa ating mamamayan.
Ako po ay nasa Tarsier 117 sa Bohol, which is focused on emergency response po. So, alam naman natin na kung kulang yung mga personnel from emergency response, especially on disasters, kukuha tayo sa reservist. That is why lahat ng mga empleyado ng Tarsier 117 ay pina-reserve namin sa Philippine Army. Kasi for me, malaking tulong talaga yung mga tao doon sa reservist.
The group I represent is a volunteer fire brigade for 45 years in service in Negros Occidental and from Bacolod. This serves as an inspiration to the young members of the fire brigade who became regular members of the brigade, and we trained them as reservists.
Our company is engaged with fishing operations, which is served as engineer sa ato ang regular naval forces para sa protection sa ato ang maritime. Sa atin ng mga kabataan, dapat we have to encourage them reserve force in order to enlighten ang ilang mga futures, ma-improve natin yung kanilang disiplina, no?
I think mahalaga makita ng ating mga kabataan ang value of being a reservist. So in our particular case, we are the first AFP-affiliated reserve unit or VLUNA counterpart. Likewise, we are also a school, University of Perpetual Help System po. So we are encouraging all our students to join our ROTC, especially this year. Yun ang trust ng aming Commander, Brigadier General Antonio L. Tamayo, Philippine Air Force Reserve. And it's essentially showing that ROTC is a great growth track for our students. I think there's no greater joy than to serve our country in uniform. I mean, we can do it in any way possible, but doing it in uniform really shows patriotism, our love for country, and our respect for core values. And I think that's what the next generation really needs to carry, not only now, but for the future.
Bilang bahagi ng pagpapakita ng ating suporta at pagkilala sa dedikasyon at pagsusumikap ng ating mga kasunduluhan sa Reserve Officer Training Corps, binibigyang pugay ng ating AFP ROTC Unit of the Year na nagpakita ng kahusayan, liderato at pagsasakripisyo.
Ako, in behalf of the Cebu Technological University, na napili na Best ROTC Unit. I think yung marami kaming community services, yon ang nakakontribute na kami as Best ROTC Unit. Kasi pag may fiesta like Senior Santo Niño, Grand Fiesta, lahat na mga ROTC cadets namin nagsiserve. Pag may 3 de Abril, may Independence Day, kami ang tatawagin ng mayor ng staff nila na mag-serve.
One of the most satisfying things of being a reservist po, it is more on you are given an opportunity to serve the country wearing this uniform. Diba kasi while it is true, pwede naman tayong lahat pwede makapagservisyo sa bansa. Pero iba kasi pag nakapag-uniforme ka, yung reach mo kasi wider.
As commander of the ROTC, I always tell the cadets. Yan yung palagi ko eh. What is the role of the state to its citizen? Sabi doon sa role ng state sa citizen is the state will look for the welfare of the citizen. Then ang pabalik naman is what is the role of the citizen to the state? Number one role of the citizen to the state is to defend the state, di ba? To defend the state. So sabi ko, since it is our number one role is to defend the state, so I encourage every one of you to join the ROTC because ROTC is not only about discipline, about loyalty, patriotism, but about developing how to fight, developing the will to fight. Because how can you defend the country if you are not trained in the military, if you are going to join only the LTAs and the CWTAs? So that's why I always told them that join the ROTC in the future, you will be called upon to defend our country.
binibigyang diin sa kung paano nila may pagpapatuloy ang dedikasyon sa paglilingkod sa ating bayan. Mga ordinaryong mamamayan na may espesyal na pagnanais na maglingkod sa ating bansa, sa pagkilala ng kanilang dedikasyon at sakripisyo sa pagtupad ng kanilang tungkuling, patuloy ang kanilang paglilingkod at voluntaryong serbisyo.
Sa lahat ng mga kabataan, gusto ko po kayong i-encourage na maging reserve unit sa Philippine Army dahil iba yung pakiramdam or iba yung fulfillment na may naitutulong tayo sa bayan. Though less compensation and more on volunteerism, pero yung fulfillment na nalalaman mo, nakakatulog ka sa gabi na may natulungan kang iba sa pakiramdam.
Well, to the youth, the spirit of volunteerism still lives on, even outside of your comfort zone. You can volunteer in any group, fire brigade, be it most of all, you should be a reservist to serve your country, because as what they have said, Rizal have said, the youth is the future of our motherland.
I would like to encourage the youth to engage themselves, enroll in ROTC. Yung hindi pa po mga reservist, yung mga kababayan natin na hindi pa mga reservist, I would like to encourage them to come join us in the AFP, join us in the Philippine Air Force, join us in any services of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Pag reservist ka, iba ang dating.
Sa bansa natin, mahalaga ang papel ng mga reservists sa pagtataguyod sa ating territorial na depensa. Ang mga ito ay mga individual na handang magsakripisyo at tumulong sa pagprotekta ng ating mga teritoryo.
Lalo sa territorial defense para mapagtanggol natin ang ating bayan. Bali, kayo po nagsisikap na sa Reserve Force na pagbigay ng oras namin at kakayahan para magampanan namin ang tungkulin namin para sa bayan.
Continuation po ng pagiging reservist, especially yung promotion po for the nationalism. Hopefully mag-push through po yung ROTC natin for our next generation, have more discipline and yung nation building po ng mga kabataan ngayon maisa puso po nila. Especially now that meron tayong maraming concerns regarding territorial waters natin and area po natin.
But of course, we'll enrich more, encourage more, and enjoin others to join this reserve force. Sa pamamagitan nito, mas lalo nating masisecure ang ating pamahalaan, ng ating masasakupan, and of course, makakatulong tayo sa ating mga mamamayan na mas nangangailangan.
As a doctor and also a general in the armed forces, one main thing we have to leave a legacy to our country by encouraging the youth. In fact, my son is also part of the armed forces, and even my daughter, she wanted to join. So, mas maganda po magsilbi tayo sa bayan para makapag-iwan tayo ng legasiya sa ating bansa. Maraming salamat po.
Furthermore, as part of my guidance as your Chief of Staff, to expedite the Reserve Force development, it is most encouraging to have witnessed the current capability of the AFP Reserve Force. This is a strong affirmation of your readiness and willingness to aid our citizens in times of emergency as an integral component of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Given such a commendable performance, which we just saw this morning, we have even more reason to further push the Reserve Force development efforts, especially now that our focus is on territorial defense operations. We can anticipate a bigger role for our reservists in the conduct of support operations, which shall ultimately contribute to attaining the AFP's overall mission. May you persist in your pursuit of growth and efficient service delivery exemplifying the resourcefulness, perseverance, and diligence that are all hallmarks of our reserve force.
Ipinaalam ni Secretary Teodoro ang kanilang plano para sa may 25,000 laang kawal ng Pilipinas sa kasalukuyan.
And so we are in the process of redesigning a reserve force based on the needs of the times and not based on old dated paradigms or plans that may not be valid anymore. Second, we have asked the J9 and supervised by Undersecretary Lorenzo and Assistant Secretary Robinson, who are here, to design the future reserve force based on two things. One is to complement the regular force of the Armed Forces of the Philippines and to have service continuity, or in the civilian parlance, business process continuity, so that there is replication of functions, functional replications, and not duplication of functions. Secondly, in tapping the special skills that each and every one of you bring to our service. Technical skills, lawyering skills, medical skills, and the like. Third, what we witnessed today was something that I wanted to underscore, but on a strategic basis. We have to build up our reserve force hand in hand with building up non-military civil defense units, particularly for our communities. This is in order to secure our communities through the benefits of the laws of war, that they not be combatants and targets for hostile action.
Bago ang pagtatapos ng palatuntunan ay ipinalabas ang mensahe ni Pangulong Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
I would like to express my personal congratulations and commendation to all the 1.4 million Armed Forces of the Philippines Reservists on the occasion of the 44th National Reservist Week culmination program of 2023. Your individual and collective sacrifices and contributions to our national security preparedness should not be left unnoticed. I thank you for living to our virtues of volunteerism, patriotism, and nationalism. I urge you, therefore, to continue enhancing your skills and capabilities to ensure unit and individual readiness in times of crisis and national emergencies. Under the leadership of our Chief of Staff, General Browner, and through the supervision of the J9, the state of affairs of our armed forces will be on an upward trajectory. So, coming from a former reservist myself, my warm congratulations at mabuhay ang Laang Kawal ng Pilipinas.
Ang ating mga laang kawal ay kinabibilangan ng iba't ibang uri ng mga Pilipino. Sila ay mga ordinaryong tao na ang ibinibigay ay ekstraordinaryong paglilingkod. Taglay nila ang mga katangiang kanilang higit pang nililinang upang higit pang paunlarin ang uri ng kanilang pagsisilbi. Sila ay matibay na bahagi ng organisasyon ng militar at ng operational capability nito. Layunin din nila ang maging mahalagang sangay ng interoperability sa aktibong puwersa ng militar, lalo na sa kasalukuyang hamon ng panahon sa aspeto ng pagdepensa sa ating kasarinlan. Sila ang ating mga laang kawal at kami ay sumasaludo rin sa kanila. Maraming salamat sa inyong pag-antabay sa ating programa. Hanggang sa susunod na Sabado. Ako po si Major Senon, si Pancito III at kami ang inyong kawal.
Ang inyong kawal, magtatapos sa inyo ang sandigan ng mamamayang Pilipino. Kagitingan, katapatan, kabayanihan, taglay ng kawal nyo.
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz AM. Balita, impormasyon at musika. Ito ang DWDD AFP Radio. Boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Alamin ang mga mainit na balita mula sa